Hello, my name is Masin, and this is the app I designed. It's called Textbooks. So, a consistent complaint that I've heard from most college students or some of my friends is how much they spend on books. I've heard a lot of students complain about how much they spend on books, how expensive books are, and how they cannot afford them. So, I did a little bit of research and found out that the average college student spends almost $1,000 every semester on textbooks or books in general. This is a problem I wanted to solve for a while now, and that's what I'm trying to accomplish in this app called Textbooks. I'm trying to save students money and find them all the textbooks they need. So the idea of this project is basically this app will help students find books at the best prices, which you'll probably do. It's an easy to navigate app and allows all students to compare prices of textbooks from different websites and different bookstores. You also have an option to search for any any bookstores near the area where you stay at or where you're at the moment. You could this book this app also recommends you some this app also recommends you what you call PDF textbooks that are always available online, which are cheap and most students don't know about, which are basically free, not even cheap. You can just download a PDF file. It will just show you basically when you search for a book, it will show you all if there's a PDF file available. Okay, this is my class diagram. There's the main view controller where you could basically first off add a profile. When you add a profile, they ask you for a username, an email, a password, a phone, and an image, and a profile picture. That image would be a profile picture, and you can save it. And from there on your profile, you could basically like textbooks. You could basically add favorite books. You could add favorite books, and you could basically also the main view controller basically gives you an option to search for textbooks, which is basically you go after you press that search, it basically goes to this this book view controller, which is basically fetches the book and searches the book that you're looking for. After you basically search it, after when you search it, then you get the view selection view controller, which shows you the name of the book, the type of the book, which is basically which subject or genre it is, and then the edition of the book, and then the author of the book. That's where you can basically compare prices and you can see what the best book prices for you. It basically pulls out a multiple websites that are selling the book, and you can get it at the best price you can. Okay, now we move on to the MVC diagram. This is the MVC diagram that I implemented. Okay, controller. So the controller handles the login, registration. It retrieves available textbooks, fetches meaningful data, handles user tables and interactions. It also handles preference and profile preference and interactions. The view handles this. The view basically displays the books. It displays the book's author, the book's edition, the picker views. Displays the review. It also displays user image. It also shows the textbook when open. The model basically the model is responsible for Firebase data storage for the book, notifies data change in real time, provides file storage and manipulation, provides picture storage and manipulation, provides functionalities of data and conversions. The communication here between the controller and the controller and the model is basically book edition update, book deletion and edition update, user login, registration, and change. Okay. There's also an update basically interaction between the controller and the model, which is basically save new profile info, save new user, submit the search results. Okay, the interaction between right here between the controller and the view is basically taps control buttons, view edit tables, view cells, interact with tab and view controller, update user, books, table view, and update and complete enable table view. Okay, that's probably it for the MVC diagram. So what is this app capable of? The first thing basically this is how the app would look basically. this how the when you say add profile, this is what this is the view control you're gonna get. You're gonna get to add your username, your email, your phone number, and your favorite. You can just add your favorite book. You can select the profile picture. The when you make the profile, the reason why we're making this profile is basically to save books that you like and basically browse for books you need. You can make one profile. Okay, for instance, this is how the search view controller will look like. The book view controller. When you let's just say you search Stewart Calculus, which is a book basically mostly used by engineering students, especially if we're doing computer science and all that. Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc 3. So Stewart Calculus, that's what we use. So let's just say you were to search for Stewart Calculus. So this is what the search result will give you. It gives you calculus, the name of the book, the type, the edition, and what do you call author. When you click view book, it basically shows you the websites that are selling the books and their prices. And if there's a PDF file, you'll also when you scroll down the search results, you would probably see if there is a PDF book online that you can download. I don't recommend it, but yeah, you can do that also. Another thing the app is capable of is basically this app also allows you to search for nearby bookstores, which is basically if you're looking at bookstores to a place to borrow books or basically maybe sell books, and you can sell them at any bookstore near you. So that's what this app lets you. As soon as you click, basically there's an option in the first view controller that asks you basically create. It gives you three options: create profile, search for textbook, and search for textbook stores near you, bookstores near you. And that's what this is doing. Basically, you can search for books near the area you're at basically. What are the limitations of this app? So I try to make multiple. I try to be basically. I tried making multiple profiles, but I could not do that. So it's like it allows only each person one profile. That's a limitation. And then another limitation would be the book that you search for must be the books that are basically the store near you or basically on the internet. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Last is basically another limitation is basically you cannot like more than 30 books. That's the maximum I set it at. It's like you can only like 30 books. For some reason, it doesn't let me do anything else. Okay, and another limitation is it does not you cannot sell books here and basically random. So, what lessons have I learned from this project? So basically, the main lesson that I've learned is basically do not bite off more than you can chew on. Because what I was trying to do for this app is basically I wanted to do a lot of stuff for this app, but the time and I was taking so many classes this semester, I didn't have a lot of time for it, so I wasn't able to make any additions to it. So this is basically what I wanted. First of all, the first thing I wanted was this book for this basically app to be a textbook exchanging and selling app where students basically interact and basically students on campus can basically meet up and basically rent each other books for a couple of days, maybe a few more days and whatever. It's like and basically almost sometimes sell each other books. I just wanted them to recycle the books in order to save money. Maybe exchange books. Hey, you know what? I have a Stewart Calculus. I need a chemistry book. Exchange it or something like that. It's like that's what I was looking at mainly. But it did not. I didn't have time for it, so I was not able to do it. So another lesson I've learned is basically, although this was a good project for me to get started on Swift, I've always wanted to do app design or whatever. So this was a good project for me. So I can so right now I can basically I have some capabilities of developing apps basically right now, and I'm capable of basically making basic games. That's a good thing. This was a great learning experience for me. Okay, so suggestions. This is basically what the suggestion I had. Basically, I feel like this class could basically benefit from more detail on the web service calls and JSON data processing apps. I don't feel like that we were given enough info on that. I think future students would really appreciate if we yeah more info on that. Okay. Basically, after the 6th week, basically this class gets really hard and instructions on the slides are very vague for some reason. After that, first few slides were actually pretty good. It gave you a lot of information, but right now the last few slides were not giving us enough info on the project and a lot of the homework that we needed to do. So more information on the slide would also benefit a lot of students. Okay, thanks, and that is basically my app design. I thought this class was fun and this class was enjoyable. Cool, awesome, cool, cool, cool.